Hey guys, Adam here. What I have for you today is a comparison video of the brand new iPod Nano 6th generation versus the last generation of the Nano, the 5th generation. Apple just unveiled the new iPod Nano 6th generation on September 1st at their annual iPod/music event. And in my opinion, at least, this Nano is completely different than the last Nano. And I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, should I get this new Nano or would I prefer the old Nano? I'm going to be answering that question in this video by giving this comparison. So let's begin. Now, the iPod Nano 6th generation's main new feature is the new form factor of the device being a touchscreen Nano. The main feature of the 5th generation Nano is that there's a video camera on the back. First off, in this comparison, something very important for me to start off with is the sizes of these devices. To see, would you like the new Nano size better or would you prefer the old Nano size? The new Nano is much smaller than the last Nano, and so when choosing which generation Nano you might want, this is definitely something very important. So to begin, the 5th generation Nano is 3.6 inches tall, 1.5 inches wide, and 0.24 inches in depth. It weighs 1.8 ounces compared to the new 6th generation Nano, which is 1.48 inches tall compared to 3.6 inches tall, 1.61 inches wide compared to 1.5 inches wide, and 0.35 inches in depth compared to 0.24 inches in depth. And this weighs 0.74 ounces. Now, the new Nano is roughly 46% smaller and 42% lighter than the last generation iPod Nano 5th generation, which is definitely a big difference. And if you want a bigger Nano, you don't want such a small little new Nano, then the 5th generation Nano might be better for you right off the bat here. Next up, let's get into the hardware of the two iPods. The new Nano has a sleep-wake key on the top, 2 volume keys, and then the 5th generation Nano just has the hold switch on the top. Then, of course, it has the Apple click wheel. So right off the bat, for hardware-wise, if you want the click wheel, then don't get the new Nano. You would definitely like the old Nano better. But if you don't care about the click wheel and you'd prefer a touchscreen, then the new Nano is definitely going to be the Nano for you. It also has a small clip on the back, which is a very thin clip, and you can use it to make this new Nano into a watch, which is something that Steve Jobs even suggested. And now moving on to the screens of these two Nanos, the iPod Nano 5th generation has a 2.2-inch non-touchscreen with a screen resolution of 240 by 376 pixels. Then on the other hand, the new iPod Nano 6G has a 1.54-inch multi-touch touchscreen with a screen resolution of 240 by 240 pixels. Now moving over to the software and the features of these devices, this is of course the deciding factor on which Nano you want. First off, the operating system. The old Nano has the standard iPod operating system with the different click menus I'm sure 99.9% of you are familiar with. For example, there's a music category. You click that with the click wheel, you get a subcategory such as playlists or genres and songs. And then the new Nano has a modified version of iOS with different application pages, except there's not actually applications, but there are different application icons such as Nike Plus, settings, clock, photo, songs, genres, composers, and all those things such as music related. One thing to note is that there's no iPhone App Store in here, and in fact there's no apps. Now moving over to the features of these two devices. Basically, there's a lot of features that the 5th generation Nano has that the new 6th generation doesn't, and these are actually pretty big. First off, there's no video playback in the new Nano, so you can't watch music videos or movies. There's no external speaker, so you can't listen to music without headphones, and so therefore there's no alarm clock because, of course, it can't wake you up with being silent. And there's actually no camera on the new Nano like the 5th generation Nano does have. So if you're going to be watching video, you want to listen to music without headphones, or you need an alarm clock, or if you even want a camera on the Nano, then the 6th generation is not for you, and the 5th generation is for you. If you do want a touchscreen interface, a smaller Nano with a clip on the back, then the new Nano is for you. There we go, guys. That's the comparison of the iPod Nano 5th generation versus the new iPod Nano 6th generation. Basically, if you want a touchscreen Nano and you don't mind the missing functionality that the 5th generation did have, then you can get the new Nano. But if you do want the video playback, a camera, external speaker, then get the old Nano. There we go, guys. That's my comparison. If you have any further questions about either of the devices, make sure to leave them in the comments section below. And also, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Which Nano is better, the 5th generation or the 6th generation? Thanks a lot for watching.